The year is 2025. The United States, a nation built on immigration, finds itself at a crossroads. A recent decision by newly elected President Trump to freeze foreign aid through the USAID department has sent shockwaves across the land. Whereas, it came as no surprise that aid to Israel was to continue. Interestingly enough, the other country to remain untouched is Egypt. Unbeknownst to many U.S. citizens, Egypt is among the top recipients of U.S. military assistance. The U.S. has provided Egypt roughly $1.5 billion in foreign assistance annually. President Trump has called on Egypt to take more Palestinians from Gaza, while Gaza is rebuilt, as much of which was decimated by the war between Israel and Hamas, which broke out in October of 2023. This decision has ignited a firestorm of debate globally. Adding fuel to the fire, former President Donald Trump, a figure known for his controversial pronouncements, has reignited discussions about Palestinian refugees with a bold proposal, rebuilding homes for Palestinians in Egypt. He points out Gaza is in shambles. No one can live there. Yet, he is stating that after they have new homes set up for them, they won't want to return to their homeland. This proposal, though lacking concrete details, has thrust Egypt into the center of a complex geopolitical quagmire. The world watches with bated breath, questioning the fate of countless lives hanging in the balance. Will Egypt, a nation grappling with its own set of challenges, rise to the occasion and provide refuge once more? Or will the echoes of ancient sanctuary fade into the sands of time? This is not just a story about foreign policy or geopolitical maneuvering. It's about people. It's about families fleeing violence and persecution, seeking a safe haven. It's about the timeless human need for refuge, a need as old as civilization itself. And it's about Egypt, a nation forever bound to this ancient call. To understand Egypt's unique role in this unfolding drama, one must delve into the annals of history. Long before the headlines and the political maneuvering, Egypt held a special place in the collective human story, as a place of refuge, though upscale that it was, could be very brutal. This narrative, etched in ancient texts and studied throughout generations, continues to shape our understanding of Egypt today. The Bible offers some of the earliest accounts of Egypt as a sanctuary. In the book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 10, we encounter Abram, later known as Abraham, the patriarch of three major world religions. Facing a devastating famine in his homeland of Canaan, Abram journeys southward to Egypt, seeking sustenance and survival. This ancient tale of migration resonates deeply in our modern world, where extreme weather events and conflict displace millions. It reminds us that the search for safety and security transcends time and geography, connecting us to those who came before. Egypt, in those distant times, offered more than just physical sustenance. It provided a haven from hardship, a place to rebuild and start anew. This theme of refuge would reverberate throughout biblical history, cementing Egypt's image as a land of hope in times of despair. The story of Joseph, son of Jacob, offers another compelling example of Egypt's role as a refuge. As recounted in the book of Genesis, chapters 42 to 45, a severe famine grips the land of Canaan, pushing Jacob and his sons to the brink of starvation. Desperate, they turn to Egypt, a land renowned for its abundance. For salvation, Joseph, through a twist of fate, had risen to a position of power in Egypt, serving as Pharaoh's trusted advisor. When his brothers arrive, seeking grain, Joseph recognizes them. Despite years of separation, this reunion is fraught with emotion, a testament to the enduring bonds of family and the profound impact of displacement. Joseph, guided by compassion and a deep sense of duty, welcomes his family to Egypt. Pharaoh, demonstrating remarkable generosity, grants them land in Goshen, a fertile region where they can thrive. Joseph told the Pharaoh that his family was shepherds, and asked for Goshen as shepherds were detestable to Egyptians. Pharaoh agreed and reiterated that the best of the land of Goshen, was theirs. This not only provided them a fertile area suited to their pastoral lifestyle, but also maintained their culture with social boundaries. This helped minimize religious conflicts. Centuries later, The story of the Joseph and Mary family's flight to Egypt would further perpetuate this image of refuge. They felt their child would blend in Egypt. As recounted in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 2, verses 13 to 15, King Herod, gripped by paranoia and fear, orders the massacre of infants in Bethlehem, hoping to eliminate the newborn king of the Jews. It reads that they were warned by an angel, so Joseph flees with Mary and the infant Jesus to Egypt, seeking safety from Herod's wrath. See, this perilous journey, undertaken under the cover of darkness, speaks to the desperation of those forced to flee their homes. As the story goes, it reminds us that the search for refuge often comes at a great cost, demanding immense courage. Egypt, once again, provides sanctuary, shielding the family from harm. This story, deeply embedded in the Christian faith, reinforces Egypt's association with protection and divine providence. Section 5, a strategic haven. Beyond its biblical significance, Egypt's role as a refuge is deeply intertwined with its geography. Situated at the crossroads of Africa, Asia, and Europe, Egypt has long been a strategic linchpin, a bridge between continents and cultures. Its location along the Nile River, a lifeline through the arid landscape, has fostered trade, agriculture, and cultural exchange for millennia. The Nile, with its life-giving waters, has made Egypt a destination for those seeking sustenance and opportunity, a magnet for migrants throughout history. It is the longest river in the world. The Nile flows through Egypt and into the Mediterranean Sea. This strategic location, while a source of prosperity, has also exposed Egypt to invasion and conquest. Over the centuries, waves of conquerors have swept through the region, leaving their mark on Egypt's cultural tapestry. This history of migration and assimilation has fostered a culture of resilience and adaptability, a willingness to embrace diversity. Section 6. The Nile Lifeline of a Nation. The Nile River, often referred to as the father of African rivers, has played an indispensable role in shaping Egypt's destiny. Flowing northward for over 4,000 miles, the Nile has been the lifeblood of Egyptian civilization for millennia, providing water for irrigation, transportation, and sustenance. The annual flooding of the Nile, a predictable and vital event, deposited fertile silt along its banks, creating an agricultural paradise in the otherwise arid landscape. This abundance of resources allowed for the development of sophisticated societies, complete with monumental architecture, complex social structures, and thriving trade networks. The Nile also served as a vital artery for communication and trade, connecting Upper and Lower Egypt and facilitating interaction with distant lands. This fostered cultural exchange, the spread of ideas, and the movement of people, further solidifying Egypt's role as a crossroads of civilization. Section 7. Refuge in a turbulent world. In the 21st century, Egypt continues to grapple with the complexities of refuge. The country hosts a significant refugee population, primarily from neighboring Sudan, South Sudan, Syria, and Yemen. About 800,000 refugees to date. These individuals and families, fleeing conflict, persecution, and economic hardship, seek safety and opportunity within Egypt's borders. The Egyptian government, working in conjunction with international organizations like the UNHCR, strives to provide assistance and protection to these vulnerable populations. This includes access to basic necessities like food, shelter, and healthcare, as well as opportunities for education and livelihood support. However, the influx of refugees presents significant challenges for Egypt, a nation grappling with its own set of economic and social issues. They are facing intense challenges due to population growth, deep poverty, widespread youth unemployment, a looming Nile water shortage, and threats to food security due to extreme weather events. It would appear the tables have turned on Egypt since biblical times. Providing for a large refugee population puts a strain on resources, infrastructure, and social services. The Egyptian government faces the daunting task of balancing its humanitarian obligations with the needs of its own citizens. Section 8, an enduring legacy. As the world watches the unfolding drama of the USAID aid freeze and the ongoing plight of the Palestinian refugees, we must briefly discuss the U.S.-Egypt complex and strategic relationship over the years. In the 1970s, Egypt under President Sadat shifted its alignment from the Soviet Union to the United States. This shift was part of Sadat's broader strategy to regain territory lost to Israel in 1967 and to modernize Egypt's economy. The US saw this opportunity to gain an ally in the Arab world and to stabilize the region. The most significant milestone came in 1978 with the Camp David Accords, facilitated by US President Jimmy Carter. Egypt and Israel agreed to a peace treaty, the first between Israel and an Arab state. This shored up Egypt's willingness to recognize Israel. The US began providing substantial amounts of military and economic aid to both countries. The aid was seen as a reward and incentive to uphold the peace agreement. Yet, I still can't help but to wonder about the historical significance and role as a place of refuge. The biblical narratives of Abraham, Joseph, and Jesus, though written millennia ago, continue to resonate in our modern world, reminding us of the enduring human need for safety, compassion, and hope. Egypt's strategic location, its cultural diversity, and its historical openness to those in need have shaped its identity as a place of refuge. While the challenges are many, we will see how they navigate the complexities of the 21st century, marked by conflict, displacement, and uncertainty. Let us remember that, even in the face of adversity, the human spirit of compassion and resilience can and must prevail.